February the 18th, 2026. Guys, I have the satellite image on a close-up over the Oklahoma panhandle here and the Texas panhandle right there, guys. This is New Mexico. And right here is where the largest fire is glowing. See that right there? And again, these are overnight images, and we're going to play it through overnight into current images that update every 5 minutes. And it is now 1:06 p.m., so they're very current. What you're going to see is it goes through the overnight period and it then becomes daylight. You're going to see not just this fire, but you're going to see the glows of a couple of Texas fires. And I want to point out how much they move overnight. Now, one thing that I see different from the Canadian wildfires, which they get huge, and there's a lot of forest involved. I've driven through this area from Dallas up to Amarillo and into to catch 40 and move over into Arizona. But it's a lot of flattered lands, a lot of windmills, I guess oil fields, things like that, but a lot of windmills and all. So I don't think there's the big forest like we see, and I think that's why there's not as much smoke. But in this big fire right here, guys, the smoke, the cloud is colossal. But what we got in this image you'll see is we got some very high level clouds. They're moving northeast, but on the ground level, and we'll take a look at it, especially because, again, we're not getting the Canadian wildfire smoke canopy. But on the lower levels, we'll look at a couple of images. You can see, and that's, again, what would matter if you're on the ground. This fire seems to be moving, the smoke is moving more north than northeast. But you can see in the glows that that upper level wind is taking control, and everything is moving almost due east. And you'll see the things move overnight into the day. Let's automate this satellite image. And look here, here's the big one. There's another one there. One right in there, but again, here comes the high level clouds moving very fast. We'll slow it down and take a look at it. Look at that glow. That's the big one I think that we're seeing on some of the images that are amazing. It's like pyroclastic clouds almost, very big. I even saw one video that had a fire tornado involved in it. It could have been from that very same area. Goes back to this, just watch the movement of these fires move from left to right in your image. All of them are moving that way. You can even see along the edge here, the Oklahoma and what's that, Kansas there? The line is moving pretty good, but here it's real obvious in the smaller Texas fires. Look at that thing creeping to the right. That's that wind, and that's what they're trying to fight against. Now, let's switch to what's called the true color. Now, this is, again, infrared, and you can see the fires very good in this particular filter. Check it out here. This is the big one. You see it start to expand here on this end, and that's where it's pushing. Again, down that blue line, if you watch this movement and watch it very carefully, even if you put your cursor on this spot, you will see the overnight movement to the east. And this one up here is big. It looks like it's like open plains. I'm sure there's some forested areas, but that's one good thing. But there's people that live in these areas, and the reports look pretty devastating if you're caught up in that area. But what I did notice, again, it's hard to see because we don't have the thick Canadian-style smoke to look at, is the smoke coming from this area here. It's kind of hard to see. At the ground level is moving more north, even though the upper level winds are pulling the storm to the east. The smoke is moving north, so be aware of that. I know it's a little hard to see. Now, I'm looking at this on a computer screen, guys, and I know it would be impossible on the phone, more than likely, to see, and it's as close as I can get. And what we're right here, this is that large fire. See this area? But right in here, you can see, again, I'm on a large computer screen in the studio. The smoke is drifting to the north. See that? So that's got to be accounted for if you're just north of these burn areas. This thing could shift very quickly. But again, most of it's moving to the northeast, and these are the higher clouds, and they're like grabbing the top of the storm. And you saw those high, and we'll take a look at it, one of the photos, extremely high clouds from this fire. So they're being, when it gets that high, that much hot air rising into the atmosphere like that, it's going to be pulled more by the upper level winds, and that's what we're seeing now. You can see this area, and it must be, just looking at the terrain, I haven't been right through that area, I don't think, but maybe a large plain, a large open area. And again, today's national weather map is dominated by high wind events offshore both coasts. West Coast, these are gale warnings here. These are winter storm warnings just like they were yesterday. But notice that these red flag warnings, you don't burn, you don't do anything that could cause a fire, has expanded a little further to the east and to the north. Some of this area here may be getting affected by the cooler air. You see it dipping into these winter storm watches and warnings right there. But this is a lot of territory. It goes all the way through Texas, much of Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, guys, and up into a good part of Missouri. See that? And then further north. And guys, here's one of the aerial images. This is over Oklahoma. And they're saying that you got 4 firefighters that have been injured, and it has burned more than 155,000 acres. Again, this is coming from Coco 5 News, COCO, ABC there, I guess in that area. And you can see it's open area, but it's starting to approach more, or really it's not approaching, it's blowing the other way. It looks like some fires behind here. See this? Here and here. Everything appears to be blowing this way. You see the fire lines in here, and it looks like a big field or open area burning there. But this looks okay now. We're just going to have to watch what has happened in this burnout strip. If this is that large area, and I'm not sure, then it would make sense to have this long trail of embers behind it and small fires. And what we're seeing is different people coming up, different organizations offering help, shelter, food, things like that. And out of Oklahoma, you've had people that have had to evacuate, possibly Texas and other areas. But this is from the Southern Baptist Convention, the Disaster Relief / Oklahoma. And it's they're providing meals for first responders. They're providing shelter for Woodward evacuees in Vici, V-I-C-I, if that's how you pronounce it, Oklahoma, where at the Northwest Baptist Assembly. So you guys in that area, this is where you go if you need help. Now you can also probably turn on your local news and get any evac notices for your area and additional shelter and disaster relief sponsors. And guys, this may be the 4 firefighters that are injured. It says Beaver County, Roston fire truck overturned, sending 3 firefighters to the hospital and 1 more hurt and hospitalized. Again, this is Roston fire truck. And so Roston, you're in Beaver County. You know where this is at. Probably they were trying to get somewhere very quick, or they were inundated with a lot of smoke, couldn't see, or trying to escape a very bad situation. And guys, over in Woodward, you can see the smoke behind the Walmart here, and they've got that closed temporarily. They're saying thank you to the first responders over here. Your courage and dedication do not go unnoticed. Again, you guys know where these places are. You are there. But it may be open by now, but it was closed because the fire is so close, and they wanted to get everybody out of there and not attract any more customers, more than likely, that could be in danger. And this may be one of the better images of that large fire. I'm not sure exactly where each of the images are coming from. This is the Ohio patrol car right there. See that? You can tell that's who that is. And they're blocking this highway off because of this. Look at that. But again, it's not as dense as the forest fire smoke. It's, for some reason, I guess the high winds are dissipating it quicker. Is not as visible on the satellite images. I've noticed that right off the bat. It doesn't matter on the ground. It's just as dangerous. And of course the smoke is too. That really eliminates the ability I think of some aviation to come in and try to douse these fires out. And this looks like either the tail end of the large fire or one of the smaller fires in this area. You can tell this is some type of maybe industrial complex, could be oil storage tanks here. You do have oil in Texas and Oklahoma, a lot of oil wells in that area. It's just hard to tell from this view. Again, that's this line burning through this area. And for our friends in Kansas, guys, this is where it's crossing the line. We saw it start to do that last night. This is an image coming from the Sublette Fire Department, Sublette Fire Department. So if you're close to this area, you know the fires are also. Now, this is a reporter, guys, from that area. She's in Woodward County, it appears right there. And you can see this morning, this is where it has passed through. Now, in the old days, this used to happen, and even in Africa, everywhere here, this burn-off would occur as a controlled situation in most cases, and then the grass would be so much greener as you started getting ready for the springtime. And that's maybe, there was probably a lot of damage. You see probably the light post, trees lost, things like that. Got some firefighters hurt. I don't know the number of evacuees yet. But, again, this is a far better situation than a heavily forested area. This area will come back greener than any other area in Oklahoma this spring. All of these burn-off areas, you've seen it even in your small gardens. Let me share something with you, and don't let me forget to put this link in the first comment, okay? Anyway, it's called FIRMS US/Canada. It has to do with fire management with U.S. Forestry and cooperation with NASA and their satellites. And what it will do is to give you the information on, over here you got active fires, U.S., you got Canadian active fires, fire perimeters in the pink, things like that. And so what we want to do is pull this up. Now, it looks like Houston, you got a fire going there. This is right. It says, again, active fires, IMSR. Here on the Louisiana line, we got one in southwest Mississippi, north of Baton Rouge, I'd say. Birmingham, a couple. You've got in South Alabama, here in the Florida Panhandle. And then I was noticing on the Florida individual map, it's a different setup. There were quite a few fires going on here. You've got one here. This is south of Lakeland. Let's see where this is. We'll come up a little closer. And you've got, this is the Hollyland Wildlife Management Area, west boundary there. And come up again. There's the one south of Lakeland. Appears to be one here on US 1 south. This is Beulah. This is Bunell, Florida, Flagler Beach right there, guys. And you can move anywhere. But again, Texas right now, Oklahoma, moving into Kansas. Here's one, Arkansas. Now, these are going to be harder to deal with. They're not flat lands, I don't think, much in this area. That's wolf. And so what we're looking at right now, here's the concentration. And notice right here, guys, the clouds were covering it in our satellite images. I didn't know it was quite this many going on all the way into eastern Oklahoma. Check this out. Monarch, Poplar Road, Mountain Station, Spring Creek, Rattlesnake. Now, these may not be as large because we're seeing a lot of pop-up fires, but you're getting into more rugged terrain. See this? Right there. Now, Edmonton and Calgary, north of you, you're starting to get these fires we see every year. And this is where the smoke comes from. Now, it looks like the apocalypse when you look at these weather maps, and half the nation is covered in complete wildfire smoke. But we got one here, 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 and here, 4. This is Alberta. Edmonton's here, Dawson Creek, Grand Prairie. And a lot of this area, I'm not sure exactly where the fires are in an oil-rich environment. A lot of shale oil and things like that. And I think there's a lot of that going on there. And I'm not sure about the Forestry Commission there, if there's a lot of logging going on like it is over on the West Coast. But again, they're starting up. We're going to be seeing warmer days as we move further into spring, and that's going to make a difference in what we see. I want to check out one area here. Now, this is the large fire. Check that out. This is the areas that have burned through that area, and they're listing it right here as flat tire, no tire. But again, that's the largest one we're seeing in the nation, and I think even larger than ones up in Canada. One other thing, guys, our gospel CD came in today from up in Spokane, and it's got all of the favorites on there. We'll take a look at that. But guys, go there to bpearthwatch.com. There's links, and I'll put a link to where you can go ahead and get it. Remember, I said we weren't going to pre-order it this time, so we wouldn't have a stack of paperwork and people waiting on it in case there was a delay. So they came in about an hour ago, and I'll show you the cover on it. Now, this one, unlike the CD called Music, when I ordered them, it was hard to tell exactly the packaging, and it was kind of a slip-out type insert. Now, these have the built-in plastic tray. I went ahead and got them like that because it's much easier to take care of your CD and stuff. And this one is here. So we're going to look at the songs on it. Let me say this. This evening, they're getting the files for our country rock CD. This is about, this will be, I probably have 50 songs, and we went through about 30 of them that I've written over the last 35, 40 years. And we're putting it all into music now. So this is the great ones that many of you listen to. A lot of you said you wanted to get them. You didn't want to do the MP3 downloads. You wanted the full digital WAV file, the WAV file, which all audiophiles appreciate the most. And I've read that, you can get these CDs on a thumb drive and things like that, but they're saying the audio quality is not up to the WAV format. So you've heard of these songs on the internet before, on YouTube, live streams, things like that, but you haven't heard this digital quality. So let's look at the songs. You will remember them. Now, they just came in, but guys, this is the song list on the back. You'll see it. Get you one, guys. It helps so much. Like I said the other day, we've got a lot of mouths to feed here, and most of what we do goes to that effort, believe me. We don't mind those, what our Father told us to do. Anyway, these songs, they're classic to me, and most of you've heard them. Jesus on My Mind, The Light of the Kingdom, Power Coming On, The Tipping Point, Swing Low, Sweet Melody. Are You Listening to Angels Whispering? Remember that one? Miss Moses, Every Second, One Way to Turn, and It's Been a Long Time. They're all very good, and we've enjoyed them. You've heard them again during the live streams, things like that, and you've seen the videos. Now, again, when you go into a video format, a lot of times you're dealing with some compression in your audio. You may notice a little distortion in your high ends, but with these WAV files, guys, it is crystal clear, and you will hear things in your headphones or wherever that you do not hear in a video format, regardless of the artist. And I'll place a link, guys, where you can go right to the website, purchase this CD or others, and of course we have our downloads there also. But we appreciate it more than you know. This music makes you smile, and that's what it's all about. When it's all said and done, remember, you're made of light and music, and these songs will do just that for you. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Links below.
Sun pouring through the blinds, bills spread on the table, but I've got Jesus on my mind. Jesus on my mind.
Jesus on my mind.
Yeah. Phone full of voices telling me I'm left behind. Scrolling through the highlights, but I've got Jesus on my mind. Kids in the backseat laughing, grace in every rhyme. I hum a little hallelujah. Yeah, I've got Jesus on my mind.
Jesus on my mind.
Every breath,
Every step, every sunrise.
every sunrise.
When the weight of the world
Tries to bend my spine.
I stand a little taller with Jesus on my mind.
When the night feels longer than the day,
And I can't find the words to pray.
you're the name that settles down the fear inside. One small whisper turns the dark to light.
Jesus on my mind.
Jesus on my mind.
Every breath, every step out.
Every sunrise.
When the weight of the